I had a chance yesterday to watch some great training videos from a international coach and consultant by the name of Dr. Lance Wallnau. Now, I'm not sure exactly what Lance's doctorate degree is in, but he is a very intelligent guy and a great thinker. And I've watched some of his stuff off and on for a few years. A lot of it in the Christian / religious category. But as I was listening to him yesterday, some of the just outright life coaching type stuff that he does is pretty incredible. He uses this word called the convergence zone, and I believe he said he got that from somebody else, Bobby Clinton maybe. But he talks about the phases that we all go through in life. And I'll encourage you, go to YouTube and just type in Lance Wallnau. The last name is Wallnau, Lance Wallnau. And then after that, type the word convergence. That's the big word I want to talk about today. That convergence in his teaching talks about the phases of life that we go through. And it talks about how we have to have this spiritual awakening. But then there's also a place where everything seems to come together and flow together. So your giftedness and your talents and your natural abilities and the knowledge that you've acquired and your specialized knowledge. You know, it's one thing to go to college, it's another to go to get your master's degree in business or to get your master's degree in psychology or to get your master's degree in medicine and then go on and do your residency and get your MD. And so you've moved from this is something that I'm naturally good at to this is something that I'm educated into, something that I'm specially trained into, something that I have expertise in at the highest level. And so in that process, there's a convergence of all of the everything that you're available to do, all of the everything that you're capable to do, all of the everything that makes you who you are. And when they're all braided together, it's a very powerful, powerful force. But see, there's one portion of that braid in convergence that demands more of most people than they're willing to give. We've heard the Pareto principle. I've talked about it here before. The Pareto principle that 80% takes up 80% of your effort, it's 80% of your time, it's 80% of your workforce, it's 80% of your team, it's 80% of your customers, produce 20% of your results. You'll work, and that 80% and a little bit of output. On the other hand, 20% of what you do, 20% of the time, 20% of your customer base, 20% of your team, 20% of your donors, 20% of your supporters, provide 80% of the results. That Pareto principle is significant, and it seems to permeate just about everything in life. So in the area of convergence, it seems like there's this 20% of something in this giant convergence of stuff in your life that either makes you or breaks you. And as a result of that, only 20% of people make it through convergence and into legacy. See, convergence is that culmination of your life skills, your education, your experiences, your spiritual maturity, your understanding of the world, and this thing called maturity. It's character development. It's process. It's the stuff you got to go through to get through. And in that going through, there are some decisions that have to be made. A lot of people hit that wall of going through and they don't go through. They stop. Because going through means realigning everything in your life into that convergence until that convergence becomes a driving force with everything that you have and everything that you are pointing in one direction. Not splintered, not scattered, not moving multiple directions, just one direction. Where there's one focus, one common goal. And convergence sometimes in an organization means that you don't have multiple visions for each department. You have one vision, one unified vision for your organization. And that doesn't matter if you're an NGO. It doesn't matter if you're a true nonprofit organization or a for-profit organization, even an educational institution. If you have more than one vision, you have division. You have people pulling in different directions instead of one division. That one vision changes everything. That one focus in the singular direction, it changes everything. And the one fiber that seems to be missing for many people is the maturity of character to withstand in the process, otherwise known as endurance. And so if you have all the gifts and all the talents and all the skills and all the education and all the specialized knowledge, but you don't have endurance, you'll be one of the 80% who stops in convergence, where the rest of life is spent in the struggle. Those who press past that, they become the legacies. They become the ones that they no longer travel here and there, presenting their ideas, sharing their ideas, building new businesses, starting new ideas. They're the ones that everyone comes to and says, tell me how you did it. And that's when the legacy begins. But see, all of that sits on the other side of that convergence of all that you're capable of, you're trained to do, you can do, you are doing, and endurance. And it's a big deal. Because without the endurance, there is no breakthrough. Without the endurance, you quit where you are. That endurance is often fueled by passion. It's also surrounded by confusion. Because pounding your head against the wall sometimes will make you quit. I want to encourage you, because I am in that convergence. I am learning to apply that mature process, push through, don't quit, don't give up to my life. I know I have friends in the same place. I sit and chat with them. I have coffee with them. We talk about the challenges and the struggles of life. I am in that season. When you go back and listen to Lance as he talks about this, he even gives you some age ranges that you can expect to experience these things in life. It's pretty powerful stuff. You should invest your time in understanding it. But many of my friends in the same age range are in that same season. And it's easy to change course. It's easy to give up. It's easy to not press through. It's easy to hit that wall and stop. If you're in the season of convergence in your life, if you're in that phase, don't stop. Apply passion. Apply effort. Apply endurance. Stay with it. Stay at it. It may not look on the other side exactly like you think it will. Sausage doesn't either. You put a whole lot of ingredients in there, and when it comes out the other side, you got a whole different thing. Hamburger meat is the same thing. Once a steak, now something entirely different. You've got to be willing to go through that process, through that grist mill, through that grinding to be transformed into something entirely different if you want to see legacy. And if you're in your 20s, sorry to tell you, you may see some success right now. Chances are it's probably not exactly the same success that you will leave as a legacy. It's great that you're seeing success right now, but maturity and endurance and transformation are still coming, and convergence is the season that you'll see that in. Stay the course. Fight for it. It's worth it. It's worth it. If nothing else, it's worth the who that you become in the process of convergence. Now, I've only given you a modicum of the understanding that you can get from Lance. I'm telling you, the videos are 3 or 4 years old. They're on YouTube. They're free. It's probably 25, 30 minutes worth of watching just to watch Convergence Part 1, 2, and 3. Worth every second, I promise you. Take the time and do that. Do it today. I'm J Loren Norris, and you've been watching Tell It Like It Is TV. Have a blessed day.